have been reading up on R. Kelly's trial. And the things that want me to read, and the girls them will come out and I say these things. Me can't even get into all of what go on with him trial. Me can't even talk about like it too much. It a go on, I think it started last week. Yes. But it too much. So me just want to touch upon a little bit of it. And it's from both men and women. And ironically, on August 31st, it would have been 27 years since he illegally married 15-year-old Aaliyah. But I'm going to touch on a few of the things that have been stated about the trial, about what they've gone through, both from women and men. Apparently, he also had like a basement set up with the man music good. The man, me not lie, him sing good, him sing nice, him sing so song was just. But then now when you hear about the things that why I go on with you now, why he used to go, you remember you have to wonder why if I saw him express it in our music. I don't understand. But anyways, we are gonna have a conversation about this. So we'll start with and they're not highlighting the names of the individuals who are testifying. They're just using aliases and Jane Does and stuff. So a 23-year-old woman testified about the 5-year relationship she had with R. Kelly on Monday. So she's 23. So if we know a track now, R. Kelly has been locked up for about 2 years, 3 years. So that would have put her at age 20. And she had a 5-year relationship. So yeah, so she should have started with him when she was about 15. All right. She's 23. So a 23-year-old woman testified about the 5-year relationship she had with R. Kelly on Monday, describing in emotional and graphic detail the abuse and degradation Kelly allegedly used to control her, including forcing her to have an abortion. They met in 2015, so that was 6 years ago. So she would have been 17. And started having a relationship when she was 17. She spoke at times through tears about how Kelly would allegedly punish her for breaking the authoritarian rules he had for his girlfriends. And that's how they put it in air quotes, girlfriends, on how they were to dress and act, and even when they could use the bathroom. He would say that we were worthless and that we did not mean anything to them. Jane said he would basically say they had sold us to him and that we were in a better situation with him. After moving in with Kelly when she was a teenager, Jane's connection to the outside world grew more and more distant. She could only call her parents on the phone with Kelly's permission, and he would tell her exactly what to say during the conversation. He would regularly disparage the woman's parents, and if the woman did not agree with Kelly's characterizations, he would punish her for not being loyal enough. Jane previously testified that Kelly beat her, forced her to do humiliation porn, and made her get an abortion when she became pregnant. She said she contracted herpes from Kelly, who regularly forced her to have sex and often filmed the encounters. Apparently, he's had herpes for many, many years. His doctor came out at the trial and stated that as well. And he never told them or anybody that he had herpes. Another victim alleged that infected her with herpes and filmed her doing sex without her knowledge. That was Faith, and she's now 24. She said it was just days after her final meeting with Kelly in February 2018 that she began exhibiting symptoms of a cold, and her mouth broke out in sores. She said her mouth had bumps everywhere and her tongue was inflamed with bumps and her mouth looked disgusting. So they met. It's either the same night or the next day that he forced her to have sex with him. And they had oral sex and she caught her piece. There's a guy, John Joe Louis, who's now 32-year-old, testified that he has evidence of Kelly's sexual predatory pattern. He told the jury that Kelly began sexually abusing him when he was 17 and was interested in starting a career in music. In a garage in the singer's home, Louis said Kelly asked him what he was willing to do for music and asked him if he had any sexual fantasies or had ever thought about men sexually. Despite saying no, Louis said Kelly performed oral sex on him. Louis said Kelly told him to keep it between me and him. We're families now. We're brothers. Prosecutors have accused Kelly of being the ringleader behind a criminal enterprise that exploited his fame in order to sexually abuse numerous victims, many of who were under age. He's been indicted on charges of sex trafficking and racketeering, but he's denied all charge. And that is just the Tama parts of the court, what's happening in the trial and what's happening in the courts right now. Like some of the other stuff that when I read, the peeing and the pooing and the da and the locking up and locking women up naked in a basement, and him only let them out. Sometimes them get to eat once a day, and if him not happy with what they're doing or whatever. I don't know. That trial, yeah. Me no see my come back a road. And there are many people out there who say Babylon a take down black man and Babylon a do this and Babylon a do that. But I don't know if so much people cannot tell lie on one man. Honestly. I don't know if that many people cannot tell lie on one man. But me I go watch a trial and see. Me keep on updated. Next week again, me will touch on a little more to see what else somebody else come out with and see how it go on. So Sharon say there's also a guy, yeah. Colleen says if I start commenting on the Kelly story, Facebook going to lock me down. Man and woman. Sharon said Babylon can't take him. Nobody wants him at this point in time. And when you sit down and think about the music, the man is a genius when it come on to him music and him lyrics and all that behind this, all of that are going. Nah, man. Something wrong with him. Something wrong with him. But it is what it is.